Umoja, meaning unity, to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, nation, and race. For close to 40 years, Charles Barron has been in the service to the people. Charles Barron is us. He is New York. He is Brooklyn. Charles Barron is Black Power, meaning he believes in the empowering of Black people and that they should have power. Charles Barron is organic. There are no filters in him, no pesticides of political corruption. He embodies the term for the people. He says what he means, and he means what he says. Charles Barron is strong. He is our protector against the political bullies that uses their rhetoric as punches to our lack of understanding of said rhetoric. He has stood up to the establishment and continues to call people out on their sugar, honey, iced tea. No matter the person or the title, just ask the governor. CUNY, BMI, owes a debt of gratitude to the Assemblyman Barron for he provided grants to make it possible for them to exist and receive strong leadership throughout the years. A bold speaker, a strong leader. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, as we hear about the condition of our communities, may I present unto you New York Assembly Member Charles Barron.
Thank you very much. Want me to use the mic? Yeah, nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate you inviting me. So I'd like to start off by all of you all getting in trouble with me. Say Black Power! Black Power! Stay ready for the revolution. All right, now I can talk. The bottom line for me is sincerity in leadership. I'm not impressed with intellectualism. I'm not impressed with your history. I'm not impressed with how much you read about our history. I'm not impressed with how many things you can quote out of the Bible. Sincerity, when you get in the belly of the beast, City Hall, Albany, Washington, D.C. Don't come to our rallies talking all of this stuff, whether you're an intellectual and wrote a bunch of books and on TV all the time, or whether you're a preacher that knows all the presidents and knows all of the Congress people and knows all of the powerful people, because they'll let you in because you get some media attention and you get a few people to follow you. Not impressed. I'm impressed with your heart, where you stand for the least of these, the people in our communities. With that, I want to say this. For any of us in any field, particularly my field, the bottom line is power. Who has the power? And what piece of the power are you going to get? And what's the difference between power and influence? If you don't have either, no power, no influence over national, statewide, city budgets and policies, you have no influence or power, you have nothing. Doesn't matter how many degrees you have, doesn't matter what positions you're given. Because this is what the white power structure will do. They will promote black leaders and put them in high positions and give them resources to mete out to some of our people. So these are the people that they're controlling. They're controlling. You want to talk about the state of our community? We're in a neo-colonial state. This is a domestic colony that we live in. We live in a domestic colony. And in that domestic colony, they put black faces in political places to maintain control over the domestic colony so that they, on top, can maintain their positions, the white power structure. Even if you have a black president, it doesn't mean what you think. I know y'all don't like to criticize Obama, don't like to criticize black people in high places. Matter of fact, let me ask some of the white people to leave for a minute, because they got to talk about it. I don't like talking about us in front of white people. Since y'all invited them, I'm going to talk about them anyway. When we are in high places of power, we're not looking for changes in complexions. We're looking for changes in direction. So that the police commission is black, or the president's black, or the mayor's black, or the governor's black, because we had a black governor, we had a black mayor, we had a black president. But when you look at the masses of black people, the conditions in my beloved East New York, the conditions in Harlem, poverty, if you look at the facts, they didn't change, and in many instances, it got worse. As a matter of fact, we have over 10,000 elected officials across this country, presidents, governors. But when you look at the condition of the masses of black people, not a few of you are going to make it, I'm going to be fine. That's why I don't care. I don't get in anybody's face, because I'm going to be fine. Why? Because I believe in God. I believe there's a God above. And as political as I am, and all of the stuff I talk, I leave my house knowing that I'm going to be all right. I ain't afraid to die. I'm not blind. I ain't afraid to die. But I'm not going to let the fear of death stop me from saying and doing what I got to do. I don't want to go to prison. Been there for a minute. Not like my brothers who are political prisoners now. So I don't want to lose my freedom, but I'm not going to let my loss of freedom stop me from saying and doing what I have to do. And I know how to be broke, so I'm certainly not going to let the loss of material things, the loss of money. That's where we are. We as a people are engaged in two facets of struggle. Struggle for survival and a struggle for liberation. 99% of our people are in a struggle for survival because capitalism, this racist, parasitic, fatally flawed system of capitalism, knows how to keep you in survival. And anytime you're trying to survive a system that needs to be radically changed, you will never be free. You will survive, but guess who else survives? Stray dogs. Cats survive. Rats survive. We're not on this place to survive. We're on this place to thrive. We're on this, that was kind of deep. You may hang up.
Yes, it was.
I'll let you know when I get deep. If you don't think so, be polite and clap anyway. 'Cause I'm not going to give up all this and y'all sitting there, that ain't happening tonight. So we're not on this planet to survive. Anybody can survive. We're on here to thrive. We're on here to get an abundant life. Not just trying to make it, but see, what we all do, capitalism will allow some of you through. They'll allow some of you through, but when it comes to the masses of our people, you know, you live in the country that is the wealthiest country the planet Earth has ever known. You're living in a city that is the richest city the planet Earth has ever known. You live in a state that has a $153 billion budget. 150, y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
$153 billion in the state, $80+ billion in the city, 150, 80, what's that, 230? $230 billion, and you're worried about Trump. You better look at the State House and City Hall.
That's right.
$230 billion in this city. Don't talk to me about Trump. Whatever he cuts, you put it back. Because there's enough money in this state, there's enough money in this city. If Trump cuts Medicaid, Medicare, whatever he cuts can be put back by the state. Matter of fact, should have been there already.
Yeah.
You're talking about Trump. You better look at Cuomo. You better look at de Blasio.
Yes.
That's what we have to worry about, because they're in our reach. You can reach them. You can reach them, you know what I mean? Lay hands. You can't reach Trump, you know? And a lot of liberals are hiding behind, no, make no mistake, Trump is a neo-fascist, racist, idiotic, misogynistic. The list is endless. He didn't even think he was going to win.
No, he did not.
After he won, he was on the stage like, oh my God.
What happened there?
Yes, yes. Hey, how you doing, Trump? I was going to win. Oh, Lord have mercy. I just wanted to increase my brand so I can make more money. That's one responsibility for the president. He didn't even think he was going to win. And the liberals hide behind his racism. So I said, before you leave, could you tell me how much money is available for the budget this year? He said, about $150 billion. I said, so that's how much is available for the budget. Is there a deficit? Is there a deficit? He said, no, we basically closed that, because I knew it wasn't, because I already did my research. I said, oh, so no deficit. I said, is there a surplus? Is there a surplus? He said, slightly. No, not slightly. There's 1.8 billion left over from last year. There's 1.4 billion from bank settlements. And when we do the millionaire's tax, there's going to be another, so it's about 6 billion. He said, give or take. So we don't have a deficit. We have a surplus. And I said, let me tell you something. What is the biggest problem in this state? Would you say poverty, sir? Poverty? He said, well, that's a major, major problem. I said, well, let me give you some facts that you already know. Last year, the governor put $25 measly million in the $150 billion last year for the budget. $25 million for poverty. $25 million, and all of it went upstate. Guess who was the president then? Obama, not Trump. So with Obama in, you gave up $25 million. With Trump in, you don't have nothing allocated for poverty. So what are you talking to me about Trump? See, that we can't let them frame the struggle. Well, walk through the street, Charles, what do you think about Trump? I don't think about Trump. You know, everybody's Trumpetized. Oh, Trump. Oh, did you hear him today? Did you see what he said? He's stupid. No, he isn't. He's the president. And he's working his show, but, and no, I know he's the worst. Him and Hillary, and I know some of you don't like Hillary, but him and Hillary were the worst two presidential candidates in the history of American politics in terms of honesty and trustworthiness. And then we get in the habit of saying, you know, you gotta stop Trump. You gotta stop Trump. Charles, I hear you, man. I know you're talking all of that stuff, but we gotta stop Trump. We gotta stop Trump. I said, you gotta start Hillary. You gotta start Hillary. See, they get us in the lesser to evil. Well, Charles, you know, you know, if we don't vote for Hillary, you know, we're gonna get Trump. And so first of all, let me tell you something. There's no such thing as a national election. All elections for president is state by state. So it's not like you're making a national vote. And they're going by the populist vote. They go by the electoral college, which you're very familiar with. So each state determines what the electoral number is going to be, and whoever wins that state wins the electoral number for that particular state. Hillary was winning New York State. You didn't have to vote for Hillary. You could have made a statement and voted for. I wrote in reparations now. I said, "Who's your candidate?" I said, "Reparations." He and she is something they owe us. So I wrote in reparations. Oh, you didn't vote for Hillary, then you're voting for Trump. I said, "What are you talking about?" That logic escapes me. Hillary is winning New York State, and she won New York State big. So if black people would have gotten together and said, since you're going to win New York State anyway, we're going to make a statement, and I'll talk to you about that a little later, about reparations. And so we're going to all vote reparations down. And if out of New York State, there's 2 million black people in New York City, probably 3 million in the whole state. Imagine if 1 million of us would have voted for reparations.
Yes.
That would have been an issue. She would have still won New York State and lost the election. But you would have made a statement. See, it's time for us to get together and make some statements on our own best interest. No other people do what we do. No other people do that. When Barack Obama was running for president, he was Senator Obama. He came to New York, 1199, so we all was there. We was questioning him. I had a mistrust from the beginning. Because, you got to watch who people are surrounding themselves with. When a black man surrounds himself with a lot of white men, you better rest assured he ain't your president. So I said, Senator Obama, I said, let me get him an easy one so I can work my way in. So what you going to do about poverty? Yeah, we got to work poverty. We got to focus on poverty. So I said, and what about the police? They're out of control, all over the nation. He said, Brother Barron, and this is when I got an attitude. He said, I'm not trying to be president of Black America. I'm trying to be president of the United States. So I said, what? That's your answer to my question about police brutality? Now, all bets are off. So I said, well, tell that to the Jews. The next time the Jews ask you to support Israel, tell them you're not trying to be the president of Jewish America. You're trying to be the president of the United States of America. You wouldn't dare do that. You took care of their issues. You guaranteed them that you would support Israel, and he supported Israel more than any other president, and they still don't like him. After all of that, so what's the quiet you'll get when I talk about Barack Obama? Could the church say amen? They'll be saying, if I say Trump is an idiot, that's right. That's right. Trump is a racist, misogynist. Yeah. And Obama didn't do what he could have done for us. That's why I don't like y'all. I'm going.
Give me my water back.
Taking the water. See, we gotta be critical thinkers.
Yes.
Even if you support Obama, do it critically.
Yeah.
Don't give nobody a pass, because they play you. When you give somebody a pass, they play you. So, we went through this whole thing in the national elections. I was trying to get him to put some stuff. And he said, well, I got to get elected. I said, when you do things to get elected, you never stop. Because after you get in, you're going to say, well, I got to get this bill passed. Well, okay, so when are you going to do the right thing? I can't do it now because I gotta deal with the Republicans. I got to deal. So when is it going to happen? When I ran for city council, they told me, the group around me, first of all, I never even wanted to be an elected official. I despised them. But I said, you got to deal with state power. You have to deal with power. And we tell you the difference between power and influence. So when I ran, they said, Charles, we think you could win. People in East New York around me. You got to put on a shirt and tie. So you got to put on a shirt and tie and play down the black stuff in the black community. Play down. And they said, don't tell them, don't do the Panther thing. So but the media was saying, ex-Black Panther, ex-Black Panther. So they didn't try to get you scared. I'm trying to get people scared of you. So I remember doing an interview with Gabe Pressman on Channel 4. He said, so, you know, I read here you was a ex-Black Panther. I'm letting everybody know he's a Panther, brother. So he said, is that true? I said, no, sir. Take off the X. You know, so I was gonna say, yeah, I'm kind of 19 years old and you know, angry young Black man, you know, so yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. So I said, no, take off the X. Black Panther Party fed children breakfast. This
That's
state
right,
didn't.
absolutely.
This
Right.
state
That's
didn't.
right.
The Black Panther Party gave out survival food,
Yes.
free clinics.
That's right.
They had health clinics in 22 chapters in the
Yes.
Black Panther Party.
Yes.
Our people got dental care and all of that for free.
Yes, yeah.
Clothing for free.
Yeah.
Survival packages of food for free. Shoes for our people for free.
Yes.
The Black Panther Party was called the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, saying that, you know, we ain't doing the king thing. You slap me, to this day, I will slap you back. So don't slap me, I will slap you back. And do even other kinds of things. So we just basically said we're gonna defend ourselves because of the police brutality by any means necessary. That's all. And then they went crazy because they saw Black people standing up and defending themselves. Not, you know, it didn't turn into the Black Liberation Army and went underground until after they went crazy and started killing Panthers and jailing Panthers. You can't say the Black Panther Party is the most dangerous organization to the internal security of America and think folk are going to sit home, wait for you to come get them. You said we should be eliminated, neutralized, killed. So that's what that was all about, but it was really, people were missing the politics. We do believe in revolution, I still do. I do think the ultimate objective, America needs a revolution. The problem with that is most people don't believe that a revolution can happen in America because it's so powerful, it's so rich, it has so much influence, and people have a mistaken notion about what revolution is. You know, they think that you gotta get guns and you know, get in the street and you're not gonna outshoot them, they got more guns, but revolution is changing people's minds. It's changing people's minds. You'd be surprised. That's what we after. Steve Biko said, advanced the South African freedom fighter, Black consciousness movement, said the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. It's not a weapon. So that's what the Black Panther Party was pushing revolution. Because see, the problem that we have now, or the challenges we have now, we're organizing around symptomology, not systemic root causes. So what we'll do, we need to stop poverty. We need jobs. We need affordable housing. You know, we need to bring crime down. We need opportunities. We need education, more money for this. The machine that's creating the problem is getting to the root of the problem. Let's say you're a Black radical, Charles? Yes! Because I want to get to the root of the problem. Unemployment is not the root. It's a symptom of the root, which is a racist, fatally flawed, parasitic capitalist system. Capitalism is a flawed system. It's a flawed system. And until you change it, until you, even pending the revolution, if you got to go to school and get education and get a job and get PhDs, but always be a revolutionary. Now you don't have to tell nobody like I do, but you should always be a revolutionary. Because if you're not a revolutionary doctor, if you're not a revolutionary lawyer, if you're not a revolutionary politician, you are wasting our time. You'll get over. You'll be able to get a decent house in America because they'll let some of us through. But you have to be revolutionary. That simply means that we gotta focus on the structure of a system that is creating all of the misery in your life. Every institution in our community, is controlled by a white capitalistic parasitic system. And the reason why I call us a domestic colony is not just some cute rhetoric. You know what a colony is? It's when a territory is controlled by outsiders. We have to transform our colonial neighborhoods into black communities. There's a difference between a neighborhood and a community. A neighborhood, a black neighborhood, is a place, a geographic area, East New York, Harlem, Brownsville, Bed-Stuy, a place where black people are in the majority. That's what a black neighborhood is. But you control nothing in that neighborhood. You want to know the conditions of the black community? Most black communities, take my beloved East New York. We did a lot in East New York. I'm going to tell you about that, do a little bragging there. I'm going to tell you the problem, some solution. But when you look at East New York, Brownsville, Harlem, all of that, who runs the hospitals? You don't. You don't. Medicists, little crooks. We kicked them out of Brookdale. These white companies run the hospitals. Most hospitals have white CEOs. Isn't that right? They have white CEOs. So you don't run the hospital. You don't control the health care in your neighborhoods. What about the land? Do you own it? Who owns the land in the neighborhood? Isn't land the basis of freedom? You don't own no land. You don't run no hospitals. You don't run the police for sure. Most of the police in our communities live somewhere else. So you don't do the hospital. You don't control the police. You don't control the land. How about the businesses? Yeah, we got a few black businesses. But who has most of the black businesses, most of the businesses in the black community? Not you. Not you. People outside own most of the businesses. So you don't do the hospital, you don't do the police. Education? You ain't controlling that. A lot of the superintendents, even if they're black, they don't live in your neighborhood. A lot of the teachers, white, live outside the neighborhood. You don't control education. You don't control hospitals. You don't control the businesses. You don't control the land. You don't control the police. You don't control nothing. So that's not a black community. That is a black neighborhood. This is the 21st century, and we live in black neighborhoods, and we control nothing. That's a domestic colony. That's a domestic colony of a racist, parasitic, capitalist system. We got to change that. We can get to jobs and all of that. I'm going to tell you all the wonderful things I did as a city council. I'm going to give you the blow-by-blow how I beat up the governor and interrupted his speech. I'm so happy. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about all of that, but this is the real problem. This is the real challenge. We got to turn our black neighborhoods into black communities. And you know why I know we can do it and will do it? Because we did it before. Y'all know Black Wall Street?
Yes.
Let me tell you what we did right after slavery. This is right after slavery. The best thing that happened to us after slavery was segregation. Because you had to deal with each other. Do you know Tulsa? Familiar with that, right?
Yes.
Tulsa's the popular one, and by the way, we got a class thing in the black community. It was the bougie blacks that called it Black Wall Street. Prior to that, it was called Little Africa. It was called Little Africa. But then, what's his name, Booker T and some of the others, yeah, they called it Black Wall Street, and, you know, kind of bougie thing. I'll tell you about the class thing in our community in a minute. But you know what happened? Oklahoma then was not a state. It was a territory. So the states that existed, they wanted to get the indigenous people, so-called Indians, and the Africans out of those states so they could be pure white. So they said, y'all go to Oklahoma. Go to Oklahoma. You can have that whole territory because we want you out of our states. We want to turn it on, keep our states white, pure. Get out of here. So the indigenous people, Africans said, all right, we're going. They went to Oklahoma, got land and all of that, set up their own communities. And then you know what shocked the white folk? Oklahoma had oil. It had oil.
Yes, sir.
It had oil. Black people in Oklahoma were busting out 2,000 barrels a day of oil. And they was like slick, clean, you know, ran the schools, owned all the businesses, owned the land. That was a black community.
Yes.
That was a black community. And we're talking about early 1900s and before that 1800s. Wilmington, same thing. North Carolina, same thing. Wilmington. Matter of fact, I got a nice presentation. I want to come back and do it with y'all one day called We Are Mighty Builders. It's a PowerPoint presentation on all of these communities. Hundreds of them. Y'all know about Rosewood, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, but you don't have to go that far. How about Seneca Village?
Yes.
Right here, that's where Central Park is. Seneca Village, they used eminent domain to take Central Park. They took that from the black community.
Right.
Seneca Village, y'all know Weeksville in Brooklyn? Weeksville in Brooklyn. So how do we go from coming out of slavery, broke, to build our own communities? Hundreds of them, hundreds. We were building our own schools, our general stores. We controlled the politics and the economics of our communities. Those were black communities. Then, in about 5 different places, we raped a white woman. Never happened. Back then, many of us weren't even interested in your woman. Now, too many of you are. Shame on you, brothers. None of you here. None of you here. Talk about the ones that didn't come to the lecture. Beautiful as our black women are. How could you? Anyway, moving right along. So, you know, what they did is they made sure 2 things destroyed those communities. They raped the white woman. Never happened. They deputized 1,000 racist KKK whites. The brothers in Tulsa, when they went to get their brother out of jail, they were armed to the teeth. And they went down there and got him out of jail, got into a thing with the whites. Then they came back and they dropped bombs from planes. Bombs. They dropped bombs from planes. They shot, killed thousands of us, destroyed all that. Now check this out. Look how resilient we are. We are something else. I thank God that He made me black.
Yes.
Plus I'm cute. I don't understand how we want to be anybody else. How you want to look like somebody else. The darker you are, the prettier you are. I don't care if you're like dark chocolate or brown sugar or honey vanilla. We're beautiful because we're African people, and I just love us. We're resilient. So even after all of that, black people came back to Oklahoma, rebuilt it. Because the government intervened and didn't arrest none of the whites that murdered us, killed us, destroyed our land. Didn't arrest none of them. We came back and they actually rebuilt it. Then guess what? Integration came. So now blacks were saying, well, I have opportunities elsewhere. I don't have to deal just in my community. I can actually now go into a white community and get a job and maybe get a land and get an education. So integration. And then the second thing, eminent domain.
Yeah.
Through Tulsa, they built highways and they built, you know, parks, because eminent domain allows you to do that. It's taken. That happened to all of our communities. And this is like 1920s. So how do you get to 21st century and you don't own nothing? How do you go from owning everything in your community to owning nothing? And you have more money. You have more money, more education, more doctors, more lawyers. You own nothing. That's what we gotta get a grip with, and that's why you gotta get involved in the movement. You can own a house, and half the time you don't own the house, the bank does. You don't even own your car, the bank does. Try not paying a note. So we we gotta move from not owning anything and being a domestic colony into how do we own it for ourselves. And let me tell you how I think we can do that. One, I think we need to focus on local politics. Local politics. You can get drunk with Trump all you want, but it's the local politics. The reason why I ran for city council, and this is important, the city council is one of the most powerful local institutions that you have. When I saw that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna run for that. I'm gonna run for city council. So I started, doing a lot of organizing in my community. I know how to manipulate the media to say some things. And they go, oh, did you hear what he said? So got me some media attention, built me a base, went into projects. I know you'll call them housing developments, but I grew up in the projects.
Yes, sir.
The Lillian Wall houses on the Lower East Side. I told one brother, said, Charles, man, you got yourself together. I said, let me tell you something. I got a GED. I didn't even finish high school. I got a GED, I lived in the projects, my mama was on welfare, but I don't go to those youngsters in school and say, guess what? I am a success story. If I can do it, you can do it. I grew up in the projects like you. When I grew up, they had Brand X sneakers or Converse All-Stars. They had Skippies or Converse. If you bought the $3 Skippies, they didn't pick you to play basketball, and I could shoot. You had to buy the $7 Converse All-Stars. And when those sneakers, my mama made me wear my sneakers until it got a hole in the bottom, and she put cardboard inside the sneakers. These guys got $100 sneakers, and when the ripples are no longer there, they throw them away. Do you know I had Spam sandwiches? You know that the big cheers? My mama made me go get the welfare food, and I act like I was going to the laundry. I put clothes on. Shopping. Where you going, Charles? I'm going to the laundry, man. Laundry. I said, you see that right on that box there? Where you get that welfare food? Went in my house, watched TV, and there was an antenna with aluminum foil on it. You had to get up and turn the channel. And there's a witness. Open up that. My mama made sure she got some spaghetti, some tomato paste, and some bacon bits, and that was good for 3 days. My daddy made them fluffy biscuits, dipped it in some syrup, biscuits and syrup, and spaghetti. Good for 3 days. And threw a Spam in there. Put some cheese on the Spam. That's what we grew up. But I don't know what I'm saying. If I did it, you could do it. No. If we don't do it, if we don't change this system, if we don't get involved in this struggle, most of you are going to have a hard time making it. Because I knew Tupac Shakur. I went to visit him in prison when he was in Clinton. And his mother, Afeni Shakur, I was good friends with. She was in the Panthers. Afeni said, you got to talk to Tupac. He's angry, he's this and that. I said, Afeni, you'll be all right. I think you should get his degree. Tupac said, Mom, I don't need a piece of paper, I need a passport. So I'm going to go around this country and I'm going to make that. He said, I don't need a passport, because he understood. So how do you tell young people, go to college and get a degree, and then you got people with master's degrees flipping burgers? And, because that's a systemic problem. And I tell them to go get the degree and go get all of that stuff, but they're not stupid. They see people with all of the stuff you're saying, to go to school, get a good education so you can get a good job. No, we got to fight to change the system, because if you don't, they're not going to make it. So in East New York, I ran. And why the city council? Because guess what? Power. Power. The city council passes the budget, not the mayor. He proposes it. The city council passes all laws, not the mayor. And most importantly, for all of the city-owned land, the city council has to approve of it. And in all of our districts, there's 51 city council members, 27 when I was in there were Black, Latino, and Asian. 14 blacks, 11 Latinos, 2 Asians. We were the majority. You know what that means? We were the majority and the most powerful city council in the world. And yet, they gave all that power back to a white speaker. They voted the way the mayor wants them to vote. They vote the way the speaker wants them to vote. So I'm sitting in there saying, look at this power. Do you know if Donald Trump came to my beloved East New York and he saw some city-owned land on Blake Avenue and he wanted to build Trump Towers, he has to see the Black Panther. I say, you're fired. He has to see the Black Panther. That's why I wear what I want to wear. I don't wear shirts and ties. I don't stand up and salute the flag. I don't pledge nobody's allegiance and all of that stuff. It's all racist and built on racism. I don't do none of that. You know, and the white men who know power when they see it, they have to come into my office for me to sign off on development. That's nice, huh? You sit there, dressed the way I want to dress. Matter of fact, I had a picture of Khalid Muhammad, and a picture of Che Guevara in my office, red, black, and green flag. I made them take the American flag out of my office. I put the red, black, and green flag. White men are so phony. They said, oh, that's a nice picture of Malcolm X. Where did you get the suits from, Mr. Barron? You look nice in those suits. Did you sign my thing? That's when you have power, this looks nice.
Yes.
When you don't have power, what are you doing? You look like a communist or something, you know. But when you have it, that's a nice suit. Really nice. And, you know, I once saw Malcolm X on TV. No, you didn't. You did? That's something. Isn't that something? That's when you have power. Because they know if I don't sign off on it, it can't be built. See that? See what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What we got to do, why you got to maintain your consciousness. You don't have to go along to get along, learn how to play the game. I came to change the game. So when they would come in, a developer would come in, plus I do my homework. He said, Mr. Barron, I got good news for you. It goes out as colorful pictures. We're going to build 120 units of affordable housing in your district. And they're going to look like this. He's taking out the color pictures. Let's put the pictures away. I said, what's the matter? I said, put the pictures away. You're building 100% affordable housing in my district? How you defining affordability?
Right.
He said, well, the federal government, HUD, defines affordability as 80% of the AMI. Y'all hold on to this. This is important. 80% of the AMI. The AMI is the area median income.
Yep.
That's how HUD's defining affordability for anything that's built in the city. The AMI of New York, the metropolitan area of New York City, is $86,000 for a family of 3, and even higher for a family of 4. So 80% of that is like 65,000 for a family of 3. So I said, how you define affordability? He said, 80% of the AMI. I said, do you know how much that is? He said, roughly $64,000. So I said, do you know my neighborhood AMI? He said, no, sir. I said, sir, you know, you come into my office, you're telling me you're building affordability, and you don't even know the neighborhood area median income, this meeting is terminated.
Yes.
He said, what? I said, this meeting is terminated. I really did. Go back and find out the neighborhood AMI, and we can have a conversation. I waited 3 weeks, rescheduled the meeting. He came back in, and I said, no, what's my neighborhood AMI? He said $34,000
That's right.
for a family of 3.
Yep.
I said, so are you building affordability? He said, no, sir. I said, now this is what we're going to build. East New York, in my 12 years in the city council, we had 6,000 units of housing. All of it is 100% affordable for the people of
That's
East
great.
New York. 100% affordable. Ask HPD. If you go through the southern part of East New York, we are not gentrified. The Daily News, who hates me, wrote an article, said, East New York, black population is rising. The only black community in the city that experienced a 13.2% rise in the black population, in spite of the crime that we suffer, because black people can't afford to live in Bed-Stuy anymore.
That's right.
They can't afford to live in Harlem.
Yes.
Crown Heights with this armory is going up with luxury stuff. I got more affordability under the rich, out of touch Mayor Bloomberg than the progressive, pseudo-progressive Bill de Blasio. He's coming and gentrifying neighborhoods, but I was able, working with Sean Donovan, who went up to HUD, to actually get 100% affordability. Come to East New York. I'll be glad to take you on a tour to show you all of our stuff. And all of the buildings, black people live in them. That new mall that they got out there, Gateway?
Yeah.
Y'all been to Gateway, the Gateway Mall?
Yeah.
Right. Gateway, I sat down with those developers. Guess what? They couldn't have built that mall without my signature. I know they was going to build it if I didn't sign, but I knew that they can't build it unless. Right. So I told them, I said, no, they wanted Walmart to come in.
Yeah.
We ain't happened to Walmart. You know what the black preachers, some black preachers in my neighborhood, the black leaders that always opposing us, Walmart came in, kicked some money to them and some of the young people. I said, Barron's out of touch. And you know, then they came up to me and said, Charles, what you doing? You know, you're not going to stop Walmart. You're the most powerful retail chain in the world. You know, that's, you know, you can demonstrate, scream, holler all you want. I said, watch me work. When I finish with that, Walmart is not in East New York. Because Walmart didn't have no power. You got to do a power analysis. Walmart didn't have any power. It was related. The developers that were bringing them in, they had the power. And we went to the developer and said that if you bring them in, you'll never get another contract in the city, because I went to unions, I went to elected officials. So y'all bold, y'all come in late, sit all over the front. Ladies sit in the back. Move up there. He's sweating here. If I got to do this, man, I have to roll in like that. I'll sit in the back. We're an hour late. Now everybody got to look at us. Interrupt the whole lecture. Look at these handsome brothers. Give them hands. They look power. See, it's about power. Power. Whatever you in, do a power analysis. You want something, do a power analysis. Who has the power to make the decision for you to get what you want? And if you don't have that power, then you better be able to influence it. And if you can't do anything, here's the difference. Power is the ability to act. Power is the ability for you to make a decision in your best interest. That's power. You don't have to demonstrate, march, go nowhere. You make the decision. That's power. Influence is when you have to persuade people in power, convince people in power to make a decision in your best interest. That's influence. We confuse influence with power. Because you march and scream and holler and get them to do a little something for you, that's influence. You better get that seat of power. When I could sign off on something, I have a little piece of power, because the council usually, traditionally, they will support whatever the local council member does. But they can go against you. They can go against you. And I was in trouble because I didn't sign off on a lot of their things because it was gentrifying Harlem. It was gentrifying Bed-Stuy. So I wouldn't sign off. I would say no, but they still had the votes. And they knew I was telling the truth, so they didn't punish. They can't punish me because mine was 100% affordable.
Right.
I got 3 parks renovated in East New York. $17.5 million. Give it up, y'all. black, no shirt and ties, not saluting the flag, not shuffling, not scratching stuff that doesn't itch when I'm talking to white men, nothing, and still was able to get $17.6 million. When the speaker tried to punish me and say, or the mayor, that none of the commissioners should meet with me because I was confronting Bloomberg and the media, I said, all right, you want to play that? You know one power I do have and all of you have? I don't have the power they have, but I have the power to disrupt.
That's right.
And I know that you want to show people above that you got the plantation under control. And if someone on the plantation acts up and you can't control them, then we white men in power don't want you up in here with us. Because we only want white men up here who can control the plantation. So I know that that's their problem. And I'm not afraid of them calling the cops. I prefer that, especially at City Hall. I used to get up, Mr. Jones, you can't do what? Call the cops. Call the cops. You ain't telling me what I can't do. No. They told me I ran for speaker one time. I came close. I got one vote, mine. They told me, Charles, if nobody nominates you, you can't get up and say anything. I said, let me tell you something. Y'all gonna win 50-1, but I'm gonna make the speech of my life, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing. So if you want a totally disruptive ceremony, mess with me. You're gonna have to call the cops. I will go up there. I wasn't gonna do half of it, just half of it. I will go up there, I'll take that mic out of the speaker's hand, and if the security comes to try to touch me, we'll be rolling up and down the aisle. Go ahead, and I'm not lying. Y'all gotta put in Charles Barron, speaker. I have a whole speech up there. So I got up, and they said, you gotta have a second nomination. I said, I'm seconding. I ain't playing with your rules, man. Got everything. I said, look, she's gonna win. You're gonna have all the power. You're gonna do all of this stuff, but you ain't stopping me from making a statement. I got up, and I said, I, Charles Barron. And before I put my name in nomination, I'd like to make an observation. You notice, because the speaker invited all of her white friends to sit down, and they wouldn't let my black radicals on the ground floor, where it's up in the balcony. I said, you notice? The white people, they were, the white people were sitting there, and the black people in the balcony. They said, yeah. So I put my name in nomination today for Malcolm X. Not Malcolm X, that's right. I put my name in nomination for Fannie Lou Hamer. I made them listen to me for 10 minutes. All our history and all that stuff. And the guy went to hit the gavel, and the speaker said, leap him. So, you have the power to disrupt. And believe me, it gets you somewhere. Because you know what happened after that? When I first came into city council, they had me sitting in the back. First day, and they said they were taking attendance. They said, Arroyo, Barron. I said, they got the Black Panther sitting in the back. They said, huh? I said, they have the Black Panther sitting in the back. Next week, I was in the second row. Then, I brought a hammer. I had a hammer, and I had some picture hangers. And I guess security thought I was going to get the speaker. I forgot about that. So I'm walking up to the speaker, the security's charging. I said, Gifford, put some black people up on these walls. And then put some white pictures up there, put some black people up on the wall. And then now, if you go to City Hall now, in the prestigious red room, Adam Clayton Powell's pictures up there, Constance Motley, that's what I did in the city council. Then, now closing with some of this. The power of disruption. My first year up in Albany, they said, Barron's coming. You know, it's like, I ain't got no real money. I don't have 1 million people behind me, you know. They said, oh, Barron, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And you know, in the state assembly, you're supposed to wear a shirt and tie. That's the chorus. So they said, what are they gonna do with Barron? You know, is he gonna, like drum rolls, is he gonna wear a shirt? Oh, you know, I'm saying, fine. There's no question about that. So when I came in, all the media was saying, is he gonna have to wear a shirt and tie? Speaker Sheldon Silver then, you remember Sheldon Silver?
Yes.
I was confronting him. I called him up. I said, I am not voting for you for speaker, and I'm gonna fight to get you out of here. And you know this little subtle thing. Charles, did you pick your committees yet? In other words, I won't give you none of your. I said, you can take. I can say everything I said. You can do what you want. Because I'm not there to get on none of your committees. I'm there to get rid of you. So tonight, I will not be voting for you. Now, all these blacks and that, everybody up there, this man was under cloud of suspicion. And I said, I'm not voting for you. We get there, I get up, and I said, I'm not voting for him, and neither you should vote for him either. This guy's corrupt, and he shut down our offices for a whole year because the governor didn't call a special election, which hurt our people. He doesn't belong to the speaker. So I voted, and then they said, well, Mr. Barron, all the media's out there. Can we say it was a unanimous vote with some exception? I said, what do you think, I'm a visible man? That's why Ralph Ellison wrote that book. You don't see me? I said, no, you can't do that. Just say it was, 106 to 1. No matter what, call a roll. Because if you don't, I didn't call a roll. Then I got out in the media, I said, nah, and all the cameras go, yeah, Shelley said it, did it. Next week, he's busted. Yeah.
Wow.
So I came back in the conference, said, how's everybody doing? Well, I said, now that he's been indicted, we should at least call for him to step down. You know they still did? They still did. They said he's innocent until proven guilty. So I went crazy again. And I said, the media said, I said, no, he should step down. Third week, now the Daily News, who hates me, said, the corrupt caucus except for Charles Barron. He's the only one. I said, ooh, this is not good when the Daily News talks good about you. But it worked in that situation. The third week, I said, we need to get rid of him. 94 of them voted with me. And he
Wow.
was out. Come on, y'all. And I go to the chambers, and they said, what you gonna do about this not wearing a shirt and tie? So I just walked in, took my seat, and then the sergeant of arms said, Charles, I just want to let you know the word is, leave you alone. So, pardon me for not thanking you. You were supposed to be bothering me in the first place. So the third week, these white men were upset. You told us we had to wear shirt and ties and blinders and he's. They're all in the media talking about me. Then one of the Irish guys get up. He's going to challenge them. So he comes in the chambers, and I was standing there talking to him. He stands right next to me, and he had his shirt open with his little green, Irish, his little green shirt, green suit, but no tie. So he walks in, Sergeant of Arms, two guys come up to him, and I'm standing here, he's here, and they said, go get your tie. And he looks at me, they said, no, you go get your tie. He went out. He came back with his little lynch thing. See, I don't like ties because, you brothers look good, don't get me wrong. Well, handsome, bow tie. These are handsome brothers, trying to help me out there. Because you don't wear a tie don't mean you're all that conscious, right? They could be more conscious than I am. They're not, but they could be. But the point is that you don't want them to tell you how you dress. Dress is dress is dress. But the point is, don't tell me I can't wear this. and I got to dress like you in order to, you know, make it. I said, no, that's not going to happen. So finally, you know, I got on the Black, Latino, Asian Caucus. They let me start a committee on reparations and freeing of political prisoners. So I got a committee on that. I have a reparations bill, and it's called Just for a Study and Recommended Remedy. Just to study it. So I'm going to be pushing that this year. Right. Study it. You know, slavery. And I can do another presentation called We Fought Back on History of Resistance and Revolutions. I want to come back and get down with y'all. Yeah. On We Fought Back. I don't like when they always talk about slavery. 12 years a slave. You know, so, but oh, what a great picture. People beat me up when I talk about 12 years a slave. I don't want no more pictures of white man, you know, chicken judge, and you know, and you know, what about the resistance? Show me that turn and kill y'all, you know? They don't know about Caspar Yanga. He was a revolutionary, the Haitian revolutionaries. You know, I want to learn about how we have a history of resistance. We didn't take this stuff sitting down.
That's right.
Time I turn around with some slavery picture, they're happy with that. You know, like they, wow, that's really bad, but they did to you. They should see what we did to you. Somebody interviewed me. What do you think about hands up? Don't shoot. I can't breathe. I said, I like hands down, shoot back. Now you can't breathe. So since the slogan, they put me at a rally. Don't shoot, I can't breathe. Hands down, shoot. Now you can't breathe. That's nice. I like that. It makes more sense, right? Yeah. So you gotta really take it to the edge. You know, you can't let them oppress you and then, you know, go along and make it so easy. Frederick Douglass said, he who is whipped easiest is whipped oftenest.
Right.
You can't let them beat you easy. When I finally can't win or something like that and I see they got it, I'll just say, ah! Scream, do anything, but don't just walk away. Well, didn't win that one. I'll do anything just to keep resisting. So in East New York, we have this. Did everybody get this? Some people got this?
Yes.
So you see this? This is our organization, Operation Power. People organizing and working for empowerment and respect in East New York. Our biggest problem in the black community is the black Democrats in the local clubs in our community. And
Yes.
We're not a support of Republicans because Republicans ain't in our communities. It's the black Democrats. When I ran in East New York, my biggest challenge was the black Democrats because they control the election day workers. Y'all know that?
Yes, sir.
In the polling sites.
That's right.
They hire all of the poll workers. They make sure that all of the groups that get money come and vote for them. This is what I had to go up against. It's the black democratic establishment. I call them neo-colonial puppets. Neo-colonial means the new way to colonize. In Africa, the colonization was when the European was actually in the African countries, physically. They were the prime ministers and they had everything. When the masses of African people start rising up, 12 million and only 500,000 Europeans, and they rose up, they said they're gonna win. Let's get some black puppets and grant them independence. Let them have a new flag, a new name for their country, a new political party, land, resources, bank, money, mining industry. We will control and go back to Europe and put these black puppets in place so we'll still control it from Europe. That's neo-colonialism, the new. Neo means new. The new way to colonize is to put black people in those places. Well, that's what we have here. Neo-colonial domestic colonization of the black community. That's what we have to fight against. So I won.
Yes.
They didn't expect us to because I didn't have any money. They said, how you gonna do it, Charles? You got any money? I said, nope, I'm broke. How you gonna do it? I'm gonna get more votes than the next person. How you gonna do that? Ask people to vote for me. Door to door. I work hard. I went door to door. I went beauty shop. And you know me, I'm getting that. Come on, y'all, let's do this. You know? Train stations, churches, you know, do my thing in the church. I won. First time I ran, I didn't even know how to do it. Like in 1997, I didn't even know you're supposed to talk to unions. So I didn't talk to no unions. My lawyer said, did you go to your union meetings yet? I said, for what? I said, that's what politicians do, they meet with unions. And I still got 4,000 votes. 4,000 votes. The incumbent, they got Giuliani after me, all the money, all the electors, all the clergy, 6,000 to 4,000. But I also knew that she was going to be term limited 4 years from now. So even though I didn't get it that year, I was going to be the most known person because they cleared the field. They didn't want to have no opposition splitting their vote. So I was the only one that got any votes. So 2001 came and I said, it's an open seat, we're going to do this. I got out there, it was war. Every corner we battling, you know. When you run against the machine, they got a lot of people and a lot of money. So at every polling site, you know, they had like 12 people on, hey, vote for this person. My two little people was like, oh my God. So I had to go by each poll and say, get up, y'all. Stand up. So I'm over there fighting. They said, look at all of us. So what? Go over there, man. They was telling my people, y'all can't stand here. You gotta stand like 2 blocks down. Hey, come back over here. Get in front of that polling site. Barron, you can't do this. Shut up. So I'm like fighting at every polling site. And then it was a war, I'm telling you. I looked at that poll at the end, I said, oh Lord, here we go. Because I remember looking at the computer and they tell you how much votes you're getting in each election district. Last time was, you know, opposition 80, Barron 30. I said, oh shoot. And then this time was like Barron 80, machine 25. I said, go ahead now. And then I was pumped. I said, oh wow. I won by 300 votes.
Good for you.
I won by 300 votes. Then I said, I got the big car, I got it in the city council seat. I got to choose. I said, Inez, my beautiful African queen. I love her so much. Make sure you tell her I said that.
Yes.
So I give her brownie points. That's what Inez, say this, Inez. Charles said he loved you. Because you're this beautiful African queen. Let me give you a hotel phone. So I said, Inez, she was 36 years in education, master teacher, retired as a principal, brilliant sister, on retirement. I said, Inez, why don't you run for the state assembly? She said, I got to pray on it and hear from God. So this was like 6 months. I said, Inez, did God talk to you? God wasn't, I can't tell you how God talks to you. Does he usually take this long? I said, maybe Inez, God is talking to me, to you. That's possible, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So after a while, she finally said, okay, I'll do it. It was an open seat. Because the machine candidate was corrupt, went to jail. So the assembly seat opened up. My wife won it. Go ahead, Anna.
Yes.
State assembly, city council. When I said, hey, who hires these election day workers? I said, the district leaders. So I know, let's run for district leader. That you can hold both the seats. So I ran for the male district leader, she went for the female district, locked it down.
Yay!
All these positions, look. So now, these are all the positions of radical Operation Power. We took the district leadership. We took the assembly. And then they have a thing, you ever heard of the county committee? The county committee? The machine had the county committee. That means that if there's any special election, they can give them the Democratic Party line. We got all 104 county committee seats. You ever heard of local judicial delegates? The judicial delegates that pick judges. There's 8 in each assembly district. We have all 8. We have wiped out. Finally. You all know about the community boards, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The machine usually controls the community board. Since I was the councilman and I put 20 of them in, and borough president put some in, all of the leadership of the community board, the chairperson, the district manager, Operation Power. We got all of those seats. Finally, there's a local district judge. They usually have the judges. They ran a machine candidate against Carolyn Diallo Walker. And Carolyn Walker Diallo, and she's a Muslim. We beat them. We won that judgeship. She's a part of our Operation Power. So we got judges, leaders. That's what I mean by power. Power. And guess what? We're black, radical. I'm a socialist, anti-capitalist, anti-imperialism. Say it. I'm going to leave you with 2 things, and then I'm really finished. One is why and how I disrupted the governor. Remember, I disrupted him in his state address. When I first came up there, they thought I was going to, what you going to do at the thing? They all saying, Barron's going to disrupt him. Barron's going to disrupt him. So the people around me were smart. They said, don't do it. Not the first thing. Everybody expects you to. It was hard for me to sit and listen. Oh my God, that was the most torturous moment of my life. I had to sit there and listen to him 6 rows away. He's right there. All I had to do was jump up and look at I said, I didn't do it. So the following year, nobody paid me any money. They said, well, so then I didn't get no calls from the media, no calls from the staff, people that they assigned me. And so I said, now I'm going to do it. So I was, now this is his most prestigious event, the state of the state. 2,000 people, all handpicked by him. So you know if I get up and do something, they're going to boo me. I said, I'm going to do it. It wasn't easy. I said, Lord, is this the right thing to do? I don't want to get up there and make a fool of myself. And then, sometimes with black people, hey, Charles, I don't like him either, but that was not right. For you to do that. Now, yes, he's a creep, but that's you shouldn't have. You are an assemblyman. You're not an activist anymore, Charles. You're an assemblyman representing us. You should not do stuff like this. I don't want to hear that. I said, you know what? And then I wanted to make sure I could pull it off. Because they usually sit the, 2,000 people in there, and they sit the Senate first, 63 senators. Then they put the assembly behind the Senate, which is 150 seats. So I would have been way in the back. Not a good strategic place to be. So I got, when they was waiting for us to get in, I got in front of the line. And they said, Assemblyman, no, the Assembly's in the back. I said, I know. So they ignored them. When they said, all right, Senate, come in. So I'm walking in with the Senate. And then I get to the seat I needed. I could hit and run. So I went to the seat, and then the staff said, no, Assemblyman, the Assembly's in the back. So I saw the senators. Senators, y'all don't mind if I sit with y'all, right? They said, yeah, Charles, let them sit down. It's all right. They only knew what they did. So I sat there, and now I had to say, okay, he had this big stage. If y'all put it in, you'll see it on the internet. It was all over the news. He had this big stage. And I said, dang, man, is anybody going to hear me? And I said, and if he ignores me, I would look like a fool. And the other thing, I'm sitting next to the state troopers. So there's a state trooper over there. By the time he gets to me, I'll be finished. The state trooper on the stage, he ain't leaving the governor. No. And the other one was way over there. So I said, I ain't gonna worry about the state troopers. Then I saw his staff. I said, they better not touch me. Now, his father had just passed away, so I said, I can't, if he says my father, I'm in trouble, I can't interrupt him then. That'll look real bad. So I said, I gotta find an opening. I said, so we did this and we did that, and with the assembly, we were right. I jumped up, you're wrong, Governor, you're wrong. he said, what? He started to say, no, you're wrong, Governor, you're wrong. It was a big stage, right? And the people couldn't hardly hear me in the back. And I said, you're wrong. You owe us $4.3 billion for campaign. Pay the debt to the city schools. You're wrong, Governor, you're wrong. And he stopped. I was so glad. All right, Assemblyman. Everybody sees you. Everybody hears you. Now take a seat. You can talk after us. I ain't taking nothing. I said, good. I got his attention. Now, I said, wait a minute. I have to think all of this. I said, wait a minute. The cameras could only see the back of me. I got to figure a way to turn around. So I said, you're wrong, Governor. You're wrong. I said, and y'all know he's wrong, too. Then the deputy majority leader gets up. He gets up and he said, Charles, he's trying to escort me out. I said, don't touch me. He said, so what you plan on doing? I said, I'm almost finished. So I just kept going on. I said, now I got to get out of here. I can't say this and then sit down. I said, I'm out of here. Garbage, I'm walking out. And instead of him just ignoring me and keep talking, he says, just because you yell, he's yelling. Just because you yell doesn't mean you're right. Just because you shout doesn't mean you're right. Everybody's like, yeah, they're booing me. Get out. When I get outside, I got what I wanted. Every piece of camera. Oh, Assemblyman, why did you do that? What, did you plan that? I said, absolutely. This is hypocrisy. You know you're not giving no money for copying and all money is not. Every newspaper in the state had me disrupted. Every time they showed it on TV, oh, the governor made a state of the state. However, Assemblyman Charles Barron. The next year, he didn't do it. He went around to 6 different, right?
Yes, he did.
He said, because then I did that by myself. So now I told the Black Latino Asian caucuses, come on, y'all. I know you're not gonna do what I did, but can we boycott it? Let's just say that because we see the budget before he makes a speech.
Right.
So let's just boycott it, because I saw, so they were planning to boycott it. And we got a little plant in our meeting, so I know they went back and told him, John got them to boycott it. So he didn't do it. The first time, he didn't do it he went to 6 different regions and never did that again. When you take on the top dog in the state, interrupting that is most prestigious event, everybody else, ain't nobody else messing with you. So they said if we did that to the government, sure ain't scared of us. And out of that, we got like $1.4 billion for a vitalized Brooklyn program.
Right.
I can't prove it was directly related to that, but when a radical speaks out, they don't want the other blacks to have any justification. So they said, Charles said we don't do poverty, look at this. 1.4 billion, so give it up.
Yeah.
When I was, there's like $100 million that is chunk change for 100% affordable housing in New York City based upon my 60% of the AMI formula.
All right.
They got $100 million in the budget for that, and can't go to private corporations. It has to go to community-based, not-for-profits. The age is phony. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. We wanted to raise the age bill, that they're talking about a lot. He's signing off and getting Shelton and all of them, standing around them like they did something. Those are the ones that they get to make y'all think it's cool. We said, let's raise the age for all 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, for all the crimes they commit, felonies, misdemeanors, and violations, should go to family court. Because they already know that the brain function, this is a fact, that the brain function of adolescents, their impulsive behavior, they don't think about consequences. Y'all know that, some of you don't think about consequences. They sure don't. They just make some dumb decisions. We've all made them. And you don't want anybody ruined for life.
That's right, that's right.
But we said put them all into family court. And then after you adjudicate them in family court, and they go and get some counseling, and they get job opportunities, and they get rehabilitation, and all of that in juvenile facilities, then let them seal their record after 1 year so they don't even have a record. That's what it was supposed to be. That's what it was supposed to be. What they signed on to is bogus.
Right.
People get mad at me because you can't get everything you want. I get so sick of that. Charles, you can't get everything. I said, what the hell are you talking about? Cuomo got everything he wanted. They got the 421A program that gives developers tax breaks and property to gentrify your neighborhoods. You 80% luxury and 20% affordability that's not affordable. They got everything they want with that. We should have gotten everything we want to raise the age. That's a compromise.
Right.
Some guy said, well, you don't know how to compromise, Charles. I said, my presence up here with y'all is a compromise. I'll be doing something else. The presence is a compromise. So, what they signed on to was first, the 18-year-olds are not included this year. It's just 17 and 16. So we got 28,000 adolescents that get busted and go to these adult prisons to learn how to be better criminals.
Right.
Recidivism. There are 54,000 inmates in the state in 54 state correctional facilities. The town of Dannemora has Clinton Correctional Facility, would not exist without a prison economy.
That's right.
Auburn,
Wouldn't exist.
Fishkill, Greenhaven, all of those towns upstate, prison economy. Y'all need to read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crowism, talking about mass incarceration. You gotta read that book and you'll see that this is the purpose. You know, we think that these adolescents made a bad decision, so that's why they caught up in the system. No, because the white kids make the same bad decision.
They don't get caught.
They don't go. I read a study called The Prison Generation, where 18 to 26-year-old black youth who commit the same identical crime as whites from 18 to 26. The blacks get incarceration, the whites get probation for the same identical crime. The average dope dealer and user in this state is a white male, 22 years old, not black, not Latino, but yet the jails are filled with blacks and Latinos for the upstate economy. Then they said all of the felonies are going to the youth court in the criminal court first. Why they gotta stop by there? Why can't they all go directly to the family court? So they go into criminal court first. Automatically, the non-violent felonies will go down to youth court unless a DA can convince a judge of extraordinary circumstances. What does that mean? That's at the discretion of a judge and the DA. So some of them are going to stay up there. Then for the violent felonies, they stay up there if they don't pass a violent test. You know, was there any physical harm done? What? Teenagers have a fight? Yeah. Some physical harm is going to be done. Those stay up there. And then the most egregious part of it is that they can't seal their records to after 10 years.
Wow.
This is what Sharpton and Senator Parker and Senator Jesse Hamilton and so many other blacks are sitting there skinning and grinning with the governor, signing this raise the age thing and bragging about it. The Excelsior Scholarship. The Excelsior Scholarship in CUNY and SUNY. There are 900,000 SUNY and CUNY students. 180,000 of them receive TAP and Pell for tuition paid for already. 32,000 will be receiving this Excelsior Scholarship. Those who make 100,000 this year, 110,000 family next year, and goes up to 125,000. That was for middle class students. And only 32,000. So I said to the assembly, I said, wait. If y'all got $124 million for Excelsior scholarships for middle-class students, I want $100 million for Martin Luther King scholarship for non-tuition costs for our students, because our tuition is already paid.
That's right.
Textbooks are killing us. Transportation, food, room and board, child care. We want money for non-tuition costs. They rejected that and they came with this Excelsior Scholarship. Now, when they say free tuition, listen to this. See, they think that's stupid. If there was no tuition, then you don't need a scholarship to pay tuition, because there would be none. When SUNY in 1849 was the free academy, it was for white men only, and there was no tuition. So any money they got for the state or the feds was for non-tuition costs, because there wasn't any tuition. Bernie Sanders should be ashamed of himself, because his free tuition idea was the right idea. His national program was that they would get money from different sources to cover tuition costs, and the student, they call it the first dollar in and the last dollar. The first dollar in means that the first dollar you get from Pell, TAP, or anything else can be used to non-tuition costs. Spend the last dollar toward tuition, then you can apply for the Excelsior grant. So some family making $80,000 a year, which is the top for TAP, is only going to get $500 worth of TAP. So then they can apply for Excelsior. But if you're making $30,000, $40,000 a year, and you get 100% of your tuition paid for by the TAP, you get nothing. This is what he's going around bragging about, free tuition. So, and then free tuition. Raise tuition by $200 a year for the next 4 years. So any of you who are not getting all of these grants and stuff, you're going to pay $200 higher each year for the next 4 years. And that means 690,000 out of the 900,000 students are going to pay tuition and the tuition increase. And he's walking around here talking about raise the age and free tuition. Come on, give me a hand clap. I broke it down. I always confess this up because they always say this about me, and they tell people I said this has been following me all my political career, so I'm just going to fess up to you and let you know that this is what happened. 2002, I was at a reparations rally. I just got elected. It was 100,000 people, and Jesse Jackson spoke, Farrakhan spoke, and I got up there to speak, and the crowd was kind of like moving around even when they were speaking, and I was messing around half serious. So I got up there and I said, y'all stay still, be still, what's wrong with you? So then they got still. I said, oh shoot, what you gonna say now? So I said, we standing on this lawn talking about reparations. Let's go to the Treasury Department. Let's take our reparations. There's no money in the Treasury Department. I write checks. So I'm just talking. And then I said this, and then follow me for my career. As a matter of fact, when I get back to New York, I'm going to walk right up to the first white, powerful man I see and slap him. Remember that, Elliot? And I said, I'm going to tell him it's a black flag. I'm thinking I'm bad. You know, I forgot. Councilman, ABC, NBC. I get back to New York, oh my God. The council members, Charles, where were you this weekend? I said, looking like a little boy. What? I was at a reparation. What did you say? They're calling for your ouster. They said you did a racial slap? I don't even know what a racial slap is. I said, yeah, just that you said you want to slap a white man? I got calls, and I ain't kidding, from white men all across the country. Mr. Barron, that's you? Yes, sir. You want to slap a white man? Come to Denver. Mr. Barron, I'm from Alabama. You want to slap a white man? I said, you sadomasochistic. You slap yourself. I got on a program. I promised to do this conservative radio program in the morning, and I got on there and I said, I know they had it. So they said, good morning, Mr. Barron. So I said, good morning. It's a great day to be alive. So they said, Mr. Barron, we have an Associated Press quote. For my black mental health, I'm going to slap the first white man I see and tell him it's a black thing. Did you say that? I said, yes, sir. This is Mr. Barron? I said, yep, that's what I said. So they said, you want to explain what you meant by that? So I just wanted to mess with him. I said, yes, it was a case of oratorical improvisation and black hyperbole. He said, what? I said, oratorical improvisation and black hyperbole. He said, what's a black hyperbole? I said, well, sir, hyperbole is a figure of speech. You know, you have metaphors, you have similes, and you have hyperbole. He said, grossly, I know what hyperbole is why you asked me, sir. He said, what's a black hyperbole? I said, oh. So a black hyperbole is like my mama told me when I got on the last nerve. I don't know if you're familiar with the last nerve, but I got on my mama's last nerve on a Sunday, and she said, boy, I will slap you into Tuesday. That's a hyperbole. That doesn't mean Monday wasn't going to happen. That's a hyperbole. You know what they said? Tell me another one. I said, my mama told me when I got on that last nerve again, I brought you in this world. That is not my mama's commitment to murder. That's a hyperbole. So he said, oh, so you were just joking. I said, no, my mama wasn't playing with me, and I ain't playing with you.
Ladies and gentlemen,